Anyways, this podcast isn't sponsored by Propel. I'm actually shocked that Propel still exists. This was the drink when you're 12 years old. You have Gatorade. If you're lucky, if you're rich, you have Gatorade. Other people have water. Maybe their family is just healthy. Maybe they're poor. I don't know. But the kid who has Propel isn't out of these things. The kid who has Propel is weird. Propel is for the weird kid. That's why I got it. 12 pack of these guys, by the way. It's fire kiwi strawberry. Are you kidding me? I'm down to my last one. Started it today. Anyways, I do think that we need to address some of the violence in the NFL right now. I don't think that it's being spoken about enough, and we've got a brand new season coming up. We've got Tua Tagovailoa. We don't know what the story is going to be with him this season. We had Damar Hamlin happen last year, and I just don't think that the NFL is violent enough. I don't think that we're where we need to be in terms of violence in the NFL. In rugby, they don't wear equipment, right? They don't wear pads, they don't wear helmets. And it's actually a safer sport, supposedly, in rugby. Like, they have less concussions, they have less injuries. And supposedly it's because, like, you know the implications. So because of the implications, you're not going to hit people as hard. You're not going to have as much head-to-head contact or whatever. So I think if you want to make the NFL safer, you have to take a step in that direction, right? Take away the protection. Give everyone one weapon. Give everyone a gun. And it's a perfect demographic, right? Like, people that love watching the NFL are similar people to people who want guns. So you put guns in there, you put NFL in there. The NRA, right? They can advertise. That's a lot of ad revenue right there. You have an NRA commercial in between every injury. There's a lot more ad revenue because of injuries as well. I think it's a better opportunity, right? You're going to get more viewers because no one wants to turn away from a train wreck. You're going to have more injuries, which means more downtime, which means more commercials. We have more advertisers now. Like I said, the NRA, and it's a safer sport, right? Who's going to really threaten? Who's going to fire the first shot in an NFL game when the other team all has guns? Like, it's kind of like it's holstered until someone makes a move. And then the fourth quarter gets a little bit dangerous. You're like, oh, someone might pull it, but really not until like late in the season, like important games, maybe even playoffs, until the first shot is fired, I feel like. Because once that happens, who knows? People start firing from the bench as well. I don't know what the rule is on that. Probably 11 guns on the field would be standard. Refs are the only ones allowed to wear kind of the bulletproof gear. I think that's a good step in the right direction. You can threaten people with it, right? Like, negotiate. We're going to get 4 yards on this play and no one gets hurt. Or maybe you just have like on run situations, you have the wide receivers drop back, you have the linemen up front, and the wide receivers just have guns trained, like, just in case someone tries to pull it, right? And no knives or anything. Like, we don't want to be silly here. We don't want people getting hurt for real. So I just think that's a good direction for the NFL to go in. I also think, like, as a fan, while we're talking about ways to improve the NFL, I think that if you're going to invest in your fan base, if you're like the Seahawks, you're calling people a 12th man, or you want to talk about how important your team is, you want to talk about we to your fans, I think that we should be able to shower with the team. I don't call me a part of the team. Don't say we if I don't get to soap up with the boys after. I don't get to lather Josh Allen up or whoever. Like, we should be allowed to get in there. We should be allowed to slide around in there, towel whip some asses, that sort of thing. I just feel like the NFL isn't taking care of their fans as much as they should be. Too focused on player safety, and they're not worried about fan joy and taking care of the people that really make this league possible. Like, without the sacrifices that we're making as fans, 12-hour days every Sunday, 4 hours on Monday, 4 hours on Thursday. Now we're doing prep on Saturday, watching college football. Like, we've been grinding a lot harder than, NFL players who you work for a few hours a day. You take time in between plays. Like, in between plays, I'm checking scores on other games. You're like, just resting for 30 seconds at a time. So, we're working harder on Sundays during the game. We're working harder for the length of the game. And we're working harder on a week-to-week basis, right? Because we have games 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. You have games once a week, and you get a bye week. We don't get a bye week. So I just think if we're talking about safety issues, mental health issues, people getting hurt, it's the fans. The fans are the ones who struggle the most, and we get paid less too. Like, I bet on a game. Even, I put $1,000 on a game to win 9-10 on money line because Vegas is taking juice. Like, these players are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars as an absolute minimum as a rookie, let alone the people making tens of millions a year. I'm losing 10, 15, 20, 25 grand a season to work harder and do more. So I don't think the NFL cares about its fans. I think they care too much about the wrong things when it comes to player safety, and they don't care enough about pleasing the people who make the league matter, which are the fans. Most specifically, the people who are betting on games, because that's where we're at as a league and as a society right now, is we're focused on the betting aspect. And those people need to be prioritized. We're the one bringing in actual revenue to the sport, like a Patrick Mahomes, a Joe Burrow, that type of person. Like, yeah, they get some views because they can make a few nice plays, but if it weren't for the bettors normalizing the betting, telling people what to bet, talking about how much we're betting, obsessing over how much we're betting, every time we go to a party, talking about the bet we're going to make, obsessing over the whole entire football season, like, people wouldn't really pay attention because they're not watching to see, oh, is my team winning, my city winning, the team my family roots for winning. They're watching to see, did Petey hit his bet? You know, that's what they care about. They're watching games to see if we win, we as bettors. And sometimes they're playing with us. You can basically join the team as a bettor. You can be on the team just by tailing the bet, tailing my play. And you don't get the same experience as a fan. You just have to watch and observe, and you're not actually really involved. So I think it's the bettors that the fans are supporting more than the players. And it's the bettors that are bringing in revenue more than the players. And it's the bettors that are risking their well-being so much more than the players. You know, when I hear about a player betting on a game getting suspended, it's like, okay, great. So you get to spend a year doing what we do. Now you know what it's like. Now you know how hard we actually work. And we don't get the same recognition. We don't get the endorsement deals the way these players do. We don't get the respect the way these players do. Like, when I bet on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, the Chiefs go to the White House, right? The Chiefs go to the White House. They shake the president's hand. They get a nice dinner, and they're celebrated. I don't get anything, okay? So don't tell me that they're taking on more risk, that they have more at stake in a game. They're just rewarded better than we are. I'm sorry, this is a sensitive topic. But I do think it's important that we recognize the people that are making the real sacrifice in this sport. You know, there's going to be a lot of conversations about player safety. There's going to be conversations about paying college players, you know, and they've already got NIL. Like, what are they complaining about, right? But no one's going to be talking about the bettors and the money that we are missing out on, the opportunities that we are missing out on, and what we put our bodies through every single week. That's the biggest thing. What we put our bodies through every single week. You know, I know that in the NFL, you take Monday off, you get body work done. We don't get body work done. On Monday, it doesn't matter how banged up you are. It doesn't matter how many bets you lost on Sunday, how late you stayed up watching that last Monday night game, or the fact that you found some international sport to bet on to try to recoup your losses, went deeper into the hole, 2, 3 a.m. on a Monday morning. You get up, you go to the office the next morning, and you spend that time in the office where you're getting paid way less money than they get paid in the NFL, and you're in the quote-unquote lab trying to think, looking at the sports book, what lines do we have on this Monday night? How am I getting it all back? Do I throw it all down on the over and just hope we see some points? Or is it Russell Wilson playing and I bet the under automatically? You know, so Mondays are sometimes even more of a grind than Sundays. We just hit the ground running. And then by Tuesday, when they're, you know, doing their walkthroughs, they're going through tape, they're getting ready for their opponent for the week. That's when we're left in the dark. We don't have anything. You know, September, October, maybe for most of it, we get to bet on baseball or something to try to recoup, try to move forward. But yeah, we're grinding every single day. We are taking financially, we're taking hits every single day. You know, they say it's like getting into a car accident every single week. That's the toll it takes on a player's body in the NFL. What about a gambler's body? What about the fact that our stomach is going through a roller coaster? We are basically building, selling, losing a business every single day. It's not just Sundays. It's every single day that we're going through that level of turmoil, that level of stress. And that wears on you a lot more than a couple of guys hitting you while you're wearing pads. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. The disrespect that's being put towards sports bettors. And I'm just encouraging everyone to focus in the upcoming season on us sports bettors, prioritizing our health, our well-being, and forget about these players. They're paid. They have it easy. They're soft. Forget about them. They're just there so that we can bet. That's why they're there. Forget about that. focus on us, bring the attention where it needs to be, and then maybe we can move forward towards a better, safer league. And anyways, that's my thoughts.